boys. Bang, 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 bang.
Herbert's the gout. He'll punch you in the throat. Herbert's the gout. He'll punch you in the throat.
Run it back, Ma.
Baked in, boys.
Herbert's the gout. He'll punch you in the throat. Herbert's the gout. He'll punch you in the throat.
Would all of the VIP super chatters please come to the front stage? You know who you are. Oh, you Kurt, Mark Cleveland, the Silva Brothers, Austin, Double A, Terry Roberts, please report to the front stage. D2W Stu, your presence is required at the front stage. Unburger, I see you. Tony Turley, we see you lurking over there. Nolan Mendoza, Bender. If you want your name mentioned in this song, all you gotta do is drop a $14.99 super chat so Smitty can identify you and drop you in. Get your name in the intro song of every Tuesday, Thursday show.
It's a blue button.
Bang, 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 bang. Baked in, baked in, baked in, baked in, boys. Baked in, boys. Bang, 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 bang.
Herbert's the gout. He'll punch you in the throat. Herbert's the gout. He'll punch you in the throat.
Run it back, Ma.
Baked in, boys.
Herbert's the gout. He'll punch you in the throat. Herbert's the gout. He'll punch you in the throat.
Would all of the VIP super chatters please come to the front stage? You know who you are. Oh, you Kurt, Mark Cleveland, the Silva Brothers, Austin, Double A, Terry Roberts, please report to the front stage. D2W Stu, your presence is required at the front stage. Unburger, I see you. Tony Turley, we see you lurking over there. Nolan Mendoza, Bender. If you want your name mentioned in this song, all you gotta do is drop a $14.99 super chat so Smitty can identify you and drop you in. Get your name in the intro song of every Tuesday, Thursday show.
It's a blue button.
Bang, bang, bang.
Baked in, boys.
Baked in, baked in, baked
It's
in, baked in, boys.
baked in, boys, broskies. It is baked in time, fellas. Welcome to the show. And, you know, we've got some news. I know a lot of you want to mock draft. We're probably not mock drafting. Most Tuesday and Thursday we won't mock draft because this is a news show. This is about the news. This is about breaking down the rants and talking about this and talking about that. Mock drafts are for the boys. And it's basically a night or weekend or midday thing, and we got to get to news. We got to stay focused on the show. The Fantasy Football Show Live is not about mock drafting, but that's okay. Kenny Galladay strikes again, says Joshua. Yeah, we'll talk about that one. We've got news to break down. We've got a lot to break down. But first, we're going to pump that intro, and then we're going to get to it.
This is the Fantasy Football Show. with your host, Smitty.
Top 5 running back. You're watching the Fantasy Football Show.
Smitty.
Take a lap.
What is going on, everybody? I want to welcome you if you're new to the Fantasy Football Show live edition. And I see that question right there. Jay, you must not have been around, which is fine. I'm not saying this in a bad way, but you must not have been around lately, because this is definitely something I've been talking about over and over, and we're going to talk about it because Gibby is highlighted right here. Where do you take Gibson? Where do you take Barkley? Where do you take Taylor? And as you can see, Taylor has Gibson. It's all. There we go. It's mirrored. So sometimes it's like backing in a truck. You got to, the one with the tail. You got a trailer on the back, and you got to reverse the other way that you think. So for me, it's like there. Okay, Gibson has a green check mark. Taylor has a red. So Jay, I'm going to tell you right now. This will tell you, but let me explain why. Taylor is going. Happy birthday, Chad. You want to take a lap? Chad wants to take a lap on his birthday. Chad, take a lap right now, bro.
Take a lap.
You should be ashamed of yourself having a birthday in the middle of my show. Gibson is going at 13 to 16. Taylor is going. Currently, this could change, and then we start looking at things different, right? We got to reevaluate. We don't just blindly do the same thing over and over when information comes in different. ADP data is altered. ADP data changes. When it changes, we change. We adapt. We adjust and adapt. Otherwise, what good are we? We're not good fantasy football players if we're not adjusting and adapting. If I tell you I like Barkley in January and February and March, which I admittedly did, and I feel different about it in April, and I just stick to my guns, what good am I to you? I'm a human being. I'm going to change my mind, and I'm not feeling Barkley. I'm not feeling Jonathan Taylor. I'm especially not feeling Jonathan Taylor right now, because you're talking about guys that are falling in ADP. I would venture to say, if we brought it to the board, I would probably say that if I had to guess, and we're guessing because the ADP data is not currently up to snuff. If here is the first, second, and third round, my guess is that, yeah, Taylor's scaring some people, but there's still one or two people that are taking him right around this in the bottom of the first, probably not too much into the second. And Barkley, same thing. So they haven't breached the second round on the regular. Just in our mock drafts, have they? In our world, we're getting a little nervous about them, and we're all together pushing them down. But when you go back out to the real world, when you don't live in Casa de Smitty, people are taking them in round one. And Gibson is more attractive in round 2. Am I telling you to draft Gibby right here? I didn't switch cameras. There we go. Am I telling you? I got new pens, by the way. The pens keep going out. I guess I write so fast, so much that they go out so quick. So Gibby's ADP is right around here. Probably like 13 to 17. Okay? That's Gibby's ADP. 13 to 17 overall. Now, Taylor and Barkley, like I said, are going right here at the very latest right now. And for me, this is when, like we said yesterday, all show, this is when we go Adams. This is when we go Hill. This is when we go Diggs. Why are we not drafting wide receivers at the bottom of the first round anymore? Why are we going Jonathan Taylor We're talking about a Philly cheesesteak. Barkley, I'm sorry to say, currently is a Philly cheesesteak when we can go filet mignon down in round 2. Filet mignon. And then we also have, where's another mark? I need a different color marker. Here we go. Filet mignon, Gibby. Harris, filet mignon. He's like that. Maybe he's the sirloin. I don't know. And then Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going like in this range of a mock draft. Harris and Gibby are going in this range of a second round. These are filet mignon sitting down there in round 2. Aaron Jones, I'm okay with in this area. I'm not okay with Aaron Jones in the first round. But Aaron Jones there, I'm okay with. Eckler, I'm okay with. But I don't go Aaron Jones in round 1. I like him in 2. I just don't know about him in round 1. I'm not opposed to it. I won't tell you to take a lap if you take Aaron Jones in round 1. I'll put it that way. Okay? If you take Aaron Jones at the bottom of round 1, I won't Smitty approve it, but I'm not going to Smitty disapprove it. Okay? That's what I'm going to tell you. I'm not saying I'm against it. I'm not saying I'm for it. I'm kind of indifferent. You've got an equal amount of risk and reward. So I'm okay with Aaron Jones bottom of round 1. If you want to do that, trust your gut. I don't think it's... I'm not... Red alarms aren't going...
Red alert. Red alert.
Let's try that again. Red alert.
Red alert. Red alert.
I'm not freaking out. Let me put it that way. I'm not freaking out about Aaron Jones in round 1. I'm not hitting the bells. Why won't it go back to computer? Side light blue. Computer, overhead light blue. Apparently I put the overhead light on the side. But this is the way I'm breaking it down, okay? This right here is how I'm breaking it down. It's why not get back to wide receiver Adams Hill? And if we really break down the first round, if we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so we go CM. Let's do a different colors. Let's make this nice and welcoming. CMC. For me, it's Kamara. And, you know, I'm okay if you see it differently. I know everybody's going to see it differently. You might have Cook. Some people are really worried about Kamara. Probably the most common thing I get from people is, hey, Smitty, are you worried about Kamara? I probably get asked that more than anything that I'm ever asked in my entire life. Hey, Smitty, are you worried about Kamara? Okay, so according to ADP, let's just put I'm going to use ADP on this. This is not my ranking. This is ADP. Because I think this is what you're going to face in real life. Let's go with what you're going to face. It's Cook, Henry. Again, ADP data. You guys read this right here before you comment. Smitty, I thought you didn't. Okay, Kamara. Because I want to look at the ADP data, to be honest. Look at Elliott. Elliott going all the way up here. We called this months ago. Or at least a month ago. Chubb. Number 7 is Adams, then Barkley, then Kelsey. Adams. Finally, Adams is going ahead of Barkley, though. Kelsey. Hill, Eckler, Aaron Jones. And let's go ahead and keep going. So 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Why don't we keep going? 22, 23, 24. Okay, so then it goes Taylor, Diggs, Harris, Hopkins. Taylor, Diggs, Harris, Hopkins. This is ADP data. Gibson, Clyde, Mixon. And I don't even know how accurate some of this is anymore. Like this seems a little off in some crazy way. This is from a calculator as of today. And sometimes they include a lot of old data mixed in. Ridley, Metcalf, Mahomes. It feels pretty accurate in some ways though. And then 23 and 24 are Waller and Jefferson. So Waller, Jefferson, okay, so the guys that missed the cut: J.K., A.J. Brown, Keenan Allen, Kittle, who else? Lamb. Not that Lamb's going to go in round 2 yet. Okay, I don't know if I'm missing any big name player. I don't think so. So now we're looking at it like this, okay? This right here is a no-go for me. This right here is a no-go for me. This right here is a no-go for me. I like Waller. I'm not going to put an X through Waller, but I'm going to put an X by him because I'd rather get a wide receiver there. It's not that I don't like Waller or value Waller. I just feel like it's going to be better to try and land that next breakout tight end. There are a few, from Higbee to Fant to, whether you like Irv Smith. There are guys that are, I think, worth taking the chance on and getting an extra Jefferson. This is too high for me. This is too high for me. This, I don't want to put an X through Eckler, but I can't take him at 11. I like him in round 2, but I don't like him at 11. All right, let's circle the bad boys that we do love. What's up, JT? What's up, Miles? What's up, Todd? What's going on, people? What's up? What's up, Mamba? What's up, David? Okay, so hit the thumbs up on your way in the door, please. We're going over the ADP data right now. Hit the thumbs up. Values I love on ADP rankings right now. Values I love. And just because I know people are going to say, are these your rankings, Smitty? They're not going to see this. ADP rankings. That's better. Okay, values I love, I'm going to circle. The marker doesn't even work. This is a brand new marker. What the hell? I actually love these values. They're high players, but they're still good values. Steals. These will end up being steals because these guys deserve to be several slots higher, and they're not. This is Dobbins over here. Dobbins gets circled. A.J. Brown gets circled. These are all absolute steals right now. What's up, Oz? What's up, 66? We'll talk about Henry in a minute. Every single name I circled is a steal. Maybe a little steal. Maybe one's more of a steal than the other. But when you look at this right here, let's find another color. I believe this color will do. This I'm gonna put a star by the players that I would take as my. Let's see here. I'd take this guy in the first round. I'd take this guy if I had to in the first round over a Barkley or a J.K. Dobbins. Or, I'm sorry, J.K. Dobbins. Jonathan Taylor. I would take Ridley, believe it or not, at like the 12-13 turn versus forcing. I would take Metcalf at the 12-13 turn versus force going Jonathan Taylor or Barkley. Believe it or not, I'm going to use this to my advantage, but I'd take Jefferson over Jonathan Taylor or Barkley. That's not going to sit well with some of you. I understand that. So of these guys I almost would take Taylor. Almost. Oh, I'm sorry, Harris. I keep saying Taylor. I'd almost take Harris over Taylor or Barkley, but I don't need to. Harris has fallen well into at least the top to middle second round. But I wouldn't be gun shy about pulling the trigger on any one of these guys at 13 is my point. So let me put a little thing here. So star equals first rounder potential. Why? This is the whole point of why I wrote this out. Why in this range right here are we considering Barkley or Jonathan Taylor? Can anybody answer that in the chat for me? When you have guys like Hill, guys like Adams, you could put Aaron Jones in there. I'm not mad at that. Guys like Diggs, Hopkins, Ridley. Why are we taking a player in Barkley who doesn't know if he's even going to be ready for week 1? Why are we taking a guy in Taylor and Barkley, circle them both. Why are we taking a guy like Taylor or Barkley when we have a more secure option? Someone tell me. Here's Noah. Noah's entered the chat. Welcome, Noah. Noah says, oh, that's Todd. Hey, Todd. Happy B-Day, Chad. Take another lap. Noah says, Barkley is a generational talent and can easily be running back 1 overall. Broski. Okay, Noah. Appreciate you. People think running back matters too much. You're onto something. This is the whole point. This right here should be a wide receiver. This right here is wide receiver zone territory for me. This type of situation right here. Sorry about this, guys. I got to get rid of you. This is where your team should be Adams in round 1 and Gibby in round 2, or Diggs in round 1 and Gibby in round 2. Let's stop doing this Barkley and JT in round 1 and then your wide receiver or whatever in round 2. This is too risky. So let's get back to wide receivers is basically my point. Glad to see Barkley falling to the end of the first round. What a steal. Take advantage, says Noah. You've got it, Noah. We'll do it. Okay. Let's talk about each one of these guys on the board here. In my opinion, Gibson could literally be a top 5 running back. In my opinion, Clyde Edwards-Helaire could be a top 5 to 10 running back. In my opinion, Najee Harris could be a top, I'd say 6 to 10 running back. That's why I have him in the second round. J.K. Dobbins, who is not even in the top 24 ADP-wise. He's on the outskirts right here, but I did circle him to let you know and identify him as a player that I absolutely think is a steal. J.K. Dobbins, I like more at the value than Barkley or Jonathan Taylor. I'm not taking J.K. over Barkley or Taylor because I'm not taking Barkley or Taylor at their ADP. But I will swoop in and take J.K. Dobbins. And if I have to go with this kind of build with my team, if I have to go Ridley, I need to like mark these markers. I just throw a bad one back on the table. If I have to go Ridley and DK and JK as my 1, 2, and 3, and J.K. Dobbins. Hold on one second. What's going on? Oh, my system. I need to restart again, I think. Okay. If I've got to go Ridley, J.K., wide receiver, Ridley, DK, then J.K. is my running back 1, I'm fine. I like that a lot. I like that an awful lot. Who here doesn't like your running back 1 being J.K. after you've gone wide receiver, though? Like, clearly this is not the best running back to have, up here. But to start off with J.K., to get Josh Allen, this is a team I've been loving. And actually, let's do Diggs. That team's fire. I love that team. I like that team. Diggs and Allen stack. Which, stacks don't matter, but they do. It depends on the stack. This stack in particular matters a lot. This stack right here, Josh Allen and Diggs, because they will be the most consistent stack you've ever seen. These guys don't run the football. These guys throw the football when they're up 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. So, adding a J.K. Dobbins as your running back 1, go Javonte Williams. Then, potentially in round 6, you get Mike Davis. That's a fantastic running back 2 platoon that you're starting in round 5 on. Josh Allen's the number 1 quarterback in my opinion. J.K.'s top 6 to 10. Does he have risk of falling outside the top 10? Absolutely. Top 5 wide receiver. Top 1 to 4 wide receiver. Freaking love that squad. Punch that thumbs up. So Dobbins for me, 3rd round steal. Absolute steal. Mid-second round steal. Mid-second round steal. Mid-second round steal. Complete avoid given his ADP is not sniffing like mid-second round. Like, would I take Taylor at some point? Yeah, my line in the sand for Taylor, if I had to give you a line in the sand for Taylor, it would probably be, let me just see if, without erasing this, let me just mark it here. My line in the sand for Taylor would probably be after Jefferson and maybe before Mahomes or something, because I could go Josh Allen later. I could see myself saying, you know what, Taylor's worth the risk at 21, 22, but Jefferson would have to be gone. And I probably would still rather, yeah, I could do that. I could go JT here, JK in round 3, and then in round 1, let's say you had Diggs, and then you got Josh Allen. You can't even read that. Okay. Let's do it over here. Okay. So round 1, Diggs. Round 2, JT. Round 3, JK. Round 4, Josh Allen. I could do something like that. That would look really good. But JT's got to literally fall. He's a no-go player until he falls almost an entire round. So that's why I say no Taylor. Like, I'm not saying no Taylor in that he can't deliver. Taylor could be Taylor could be a top 6 to 10 running back from like week 8 on. Like the way Taylor came on last year, I feel like that's probably how Taylor is going to come on, you know, like this coming year. Like bad in the beginning, stacked boxes, can't move the football down the field. What is the pro for drafting Taylor at number 8 or 9? You know, like what is the pro for that? I don't understand. He's going to have stacked boxes. They won't move the football down the field. A lot of 3 and outs. Defenses will focus on him. He's not going to get the PPR work. Not to mention, Hines is a veteran. And when they turn to an inexperienced young quarterback, Eason, whoever, they're going to want Hines in there who's got the experience to keep him on it, you know, upright. 93 people hit the thumbs up, says Mike. Help the channel out. It does help. It does help. All you got to do is one little punch, and then it helps the channel explode. It'll explode right in front of your face. He'll have to fall from number 8, 9, whatever overall to 20, which is about double. It's about double the drop. You know, like you're gonna have to double his number from 9 to 18 or 9 to 20 for me to want to get in. That's why there's a big X by him, because that's a 4 ADP. You can't count on a guy like that falling 12 or 13 picks past his ADP. Barkley, my line in the sand for Barkley, where he goes from, and for those of you that are new, line in the sand for me is when a player goes from avoid, and that line in the sand to a value grab. And Barkley doesn't become a value grab for me, given he's going in round 1. He's going in right here, according to ADP data, number 8. So Barkley for me becomes a value grab probably around like this range. So this is where I would potentially grab Barkley. But that is a fall from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 8 or 9 ADP draft slots. That's a lot. So he's got a caution mark because I suppose he could fall there instead of an X, because I don't think Taylor's dropping 12, 13 spots. He's just not. So Barkley's got the caution mark in case he does. But, you know, second drafted player, I'm not totally opposed to it. But I certainly don't love. I don't even love the value, because I probably take him, but I don't love it because look, even in this range, like you can't tell me Clyde isn't tempting over Barkley. I would take Clyde. Gibson, I'm for sure taking over Barkley. Harris, I'm for sure taking over Barkley. So those guys got to be gone. That's why this is right here. And then I consider Barkley. I consider Barkley, you know, above Waller. Probably not even over Jefferson. I might even, you know, reevaluating this just because Barkley is not even 100% right now. Barkley might be more like right here. My whole point here is instead of going with these two guys, why are you not going wide receiver? Let's get back to wide receiver. Everybody freaked out. Why did everybody freak out? I'll tell you. Devontae Adams. Everybody said, oh my God, Aaron Rodgers might retire. He might hold out. Aaron Rodgers might not be there. What's going to happen to Devontae Adams? And then what? Nobody wanted to draft Adams. People are like, let's put Adams around 12, 13, 14. Then what happened to all the other wide receivers? Well, I can't draft Diggs over Adams. I can maybe draft Hill over Adams, but nobody wants to make Hill their first rounder. It's just a weird, people just afraid of him. I don't know. Collarbone worries, or, you know, will he disappoint? Will he get suspended? Like, I don't know what it is, but nobody wants to make Hill around one guy. Nobody wants to make Diggs around one guy. So if Adams gets pulled out of the top 7, everybody just kind of let everybody else not take a wide receiver. Kind of like the foot, what's the theory in psychology? The letting other people, it'd almost be like, I'm trying to think of the theory in psychology. Let's say you're driving down the road and there's a mattress sitting in the middle of the road, and you're sitting there going, why is traffic so bad? And once you get up and you see a mattress laying over 2 of the lanes, which only allows 1 lane open, so 2 lanes have been merging all morning into 1 lane to go around this mattress. Instead of getting out of your car and taking the mattress and throwing it off the freeway, opening it up for everybody else, you just keep going. You just keep going. It's someone else's problem. I feel like everybody's been doing that with wide receivers. They're in the first round. They're like, I can't take a wide receiver. I'll let somebody else take Adams. I'm going to go with a running back. Then Bob from accounting says, I'm going to let someone else take Adams. I'm going with a running back. I'm going to let somebody else take Diggs and Hill. I'm going with Before we knew it, there were no more wide receivers in round 1. And that's where I'm scratching my head. I literally am at the same time. I have an itch. I'm scratching my head because why aren't we making wide receivers first rounders anymore in PPR? It is baked in, boys. Mark says it's baked in.
It didn't record.
Baked in, boys.
It is baked
It
in.
didn't record.
Baked in, boys.
Anton says, you are talking about how people drafted Aaron Jones last year. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 96 people in here. Punch the thumbs up. Where is the door league ticker? I know. I was trying to get that up in time. I will. I almost promise. The reason I don't promise these days is because I got so much on my plate constantly. It's a good problem. I'm not complaining. I'm blessed. You guys bless me. I have so much on my plate that if I overcommit, I'll be a day behind. So I'm going to almost promise that by Tuesday's show, I will have a ticker of both door league people. And if you want in on the door league, it's a $20 super chat. We've got about, what did I say, like 14 spots left, I think, in the door league. I'll put that up on screen here. In the door league, get in the door league. Get in the door league. If you want in the door league, you drop a $20 super. Prizes will be had. Fun will be had. It will be a fantastic event. Dobbins, last thing I want to say on this one. But appreciate you, Dominic. Last thing I want to say, Dobbins. I get that the man is a risk. I get that a lot of you don't believe in him. I get a lot of you worry about Lamar Jackson. I get a lot of you, first of all, Ingram's gone, Lamar's not. Gus the Bus got extended. I know that there's worry, but the value is completely
It didn't record.
baked in. If he was going,
It didn't record.
let me switch back over. If J.K. Dobbins was going right here, you can't even see that. This marker, bad. I'm not going to put it on my table. God, I put it back. It's like an empty carton of milk in the fridge. I just put it back. It's like the mattress. It's like the mattress example. If you're drafting JK in here, because JK has this upside, JK can be in the top 8. Let's use red because you can't even see that. JK can be in the top 8 overall. He really could be a top 8 overall player. He could. But you're drafting JK like maybe in this range down into 25 to 27. 25 to 27 overall. Like this is his range, 21 to 27. This is where you're drafting JK. The risk is baked in. Everyone needs to stop clowning on this man, J.K. Dobbins. He is such a high upside guy for the cost. It is a good value. It's something that everybody should be looking at. Let's get into the news now. 97 of you in here. Punch the thumbs up. News piece number 1. Michael Carter. I love this news right here. Michael Carter. Rookie running back. A step above the other 3 running backs. This is what we've been waiting for. Michael Carter is your secret weapon platoon running back. Michael Carter is the reason you can go wide receiver wide receiver J.K. Dobbins if you want in your draft. You could go Diggs, DK, J.K., Josh Allen, Javonte Williams, Michael Carter. Why not? Why not? Look at that squad. Why not do this? Why not? We'll go Diggs in 1, DK in 2, JK in 3, Josh Allen in 4, Javonte Williams in 5. Good God. And then, I don't know, Carter doesn't have to be the next round. It depends on his ADP. But, 6, 7, whatever. Why not? Why not platoon this running back 2? I love the idea of it. I love the idea of stacking up all these other positions and coming in and buying my cheap running back 2 in a platoon fashion that will take care of me. Get Sermon in there. Get Tony Pollard as a guy. This is what I love. This is what I love. This is what I love to do. Running back 2, going super cheap at your running back 2 is such a great approach because of those wide receivers in round 2 and 3, the top of 3, the whole round 2, the running backs in round 2, and a couple, maybe JK in round 3. It's such a rich round 1 and 2. And my second, probably my favorite approach overall in 2021. 2021 approach. Let's see. Go like this. Trade your first rounder. Get an extra second and third rounder. You have your original second and third rounders. You got your fourth. Maybe you got rid of your sixth in that deal. Hopefully you were able to do the seventh. But let's say you got rid of your sixth in a worst case scenario. This is how you win a league if you can trade draft picks. This is how you do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 picks in like the top 27. And you don't have to stop there. You can trade your fifth rounder and potentially maybe your seventh rounder and get another third rounder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 picks. Keep that pick. 6 picks in the top. That's 6 picks in the top 27 overall. That's going to give you a team that has multiple DK Metcalf types, multiple JK Dobbins types, give you a Josh Allen type. One of my favorite approaches in 2021. But this guy's a crucial part of it because Michael Carter can be that platoon running back that you need because you're going heavy and you're doing creative, crafty things. I love Michael Carter in 2021. I think he could really be a very, very big surprise running back too. Joe Burrow, a little bit of worrisome news here on Joey B. I don't like this report. I don't know how much I'm going to weigh into it. I got to look at it, see how much I trust it. But Joe Burrow has struggled badly with interceptions and inconsistency in training camp. Now he's coming back from a torn ACL. We got to cut him some slack. But at the same time, if we're planning on using him right away, we got to be prepared that he might not be fully ready. So Joey B, maybe we pump the brakes a little bit. We adjust and adapt, and we say to ourselves, okay, Hurts is better. I like Joey B a ton. But maybe he's struggling with this ACL recovery. Not everybody can snap back. Sometimes there's setbacks. We don't hear about a lot of stuff. Think about it. Mike Thomas, nobody heard anything. Do you think if Joey B had a little bit of a setback that there isn't a chance they're not telling us about it? I hate this. I hate this world of fantasy news we live in now because we don't get told anything. Nobody tells us anything. Anything. Everybody needs to take a lap because it's unacceptable. Newswires need to take a lap. Joey B, pump the brakes a little bit. I like Jalen Hurts more. I know everybody wants to talk about Watson, so let's bring that up now because people are going to say, Hurts, why do you like Hurts? Deshaun Watson, bro. Deshaun Watson, bro. So let's talk about it. I don't know why people are buying into this news. So if I'm saying go Hurts over Burrow, you're saying, what about Watson? He might be an Eagle. First of all, if Sirianni is really thinking about this, and he could be, because I don't know about this guy Sirianni, man. I don't know about him. No one's trading. This report just came out today. There was a report earlier and yesterday that said that the Eagles and the Texans, a deal was intimate, is almost ready to happen, that the details needed to be worked out, but it was very, very close to getting done. Like, people are wanting you to just click and react. There's no way. I mean, maybe the Texans could trade for Deshaun Watson. That I could picture, but they already got him. There's no way somebody's going to give up draft capital to the tune that you need to give up in order to get Deshaun Watson when he's going through 20 pending separate civil claims with a potential. Is there another report out on Roto World right now? Let me pull it up. I'll pull it up as we speak. There might be news dropping, so let me pull it up. Thank you, Terry. I'll check. I don't see any updates. So I got the most updated stuff here. Okay. He's got a pending criminal investigation that stands on the back of the civil claims. If the civil claims don't go away, the criminal investigation will move forward. Whether it gets closed or not, they don't have evidence, whatever, that will be determined in the civil in the criminal situation. And the criminal case could still be being worked on. Like, people say it's like halted or paused based on the civil claims. That's probably true to some extent, but they're still looking into stuff. They're not like just, okay, we have a file open and we're going to set it on the desk and not look at it. Like, the reason the criminal part is potentially paused, or people say that, that it's in waiting, you're not hearing much about it, they're kind of treading lightly with it, is because everything revolves around the civil claims. If the 20 civil claims that are separate, all 20 have to agree, which is a very tough task. All 20 have to agree. Okay? All 20 have to agree. If they settle, then the criminal case goes away, because all 20 will write, "Dear court, here's my affidavit. Deshaun Watson did nothing wrong. Where's my check? Thank you." Then the criminal side says there's nothing to look at anymore. All 20 just said under oath in a complaint, or in an affidavit that they just filed, that says Deshaun Watson's innocent. So what is the criminal side going to do? All of the witnesses of the alleged activity have said Deshaun Watson's completely innocent. That will happen, and then that side will go away. What team in their right mind, before any of that's ironed out, is going to give up multiple draft picks, which is what Watson's going to command? Now, here's the caveat. Could the Texans give up take a ham sandwich in return for Watson? They could. And then that would be, like, let's say, let me paint a hypothetical, because the Texans are capable of this. No other team would be capable of this. Let's say the Eagles don't believe in Jalen Hurts, which is madness, because this man has talent to be the next Deshaun Watson. I don't care what anybody says about him in here. This man could be the next Deshaun Watson. Hopefully, stays on the field. But let's say Sirianni is capable of completely screwing this up. Let's say Sirianni goes, I want to get rid of him. I could see a deal where it's Deshaun for Hurts, and maybe the Texans only get back like a measly couple second round picks or something. And then we're like, okay, that's why the Eagles took the risk. But even then, they're throwing their season down the drain, because this man may not even play at all. Even if he settles with all 20 of his cases, and the dude goes into 2021, innocent, all the cases are gone, the NFL most likely will still suspend him for the activities that he decided to do on his own outside of the organization, and the way he conducted himself they're not happy about, and they suspend him 6 to 8 games. Now what does Philly look like? Why would Philly do that? Why would any team do that? He's most likely at least missing half the year if he plays at all in 2021. And there are a lot of people that are hopeful. They wish that he play. They want to will it to happen. They want to defend him. I get it. And I'm not saying right or wrong on this. Like, you can take your stance, and I think everybody should be able to get that opportunity to prove it and everything, and be innocent until proven guilty. But he's not going to play half of the year at the very least, and he may not play until 2022. And who knows what happens in 2022? What if this thing drags out until, I mean, can you not picture it being October and we don't know anything yet? It's same thing, nothing. November comes along, December comes along, they settle. He stays in the commissioner exempt list, which he could probably go on at some point, which would squash any trade talks. And if anybody's looking to trade for him, they might pick up the phone and go, hey Roger Goodell, are you planning on putting Deshaun Watson on the commissioner exempt list? We're not prepared to answer that question right now, Steven. So sorry about that. I'll confer with my people, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can, which will be never, basically. Well, probably next year is basically what that means. They hang up the phone. Then the team says, nope. We have a feeling that if we trade for him, Roger Goodell, good old Raji boy, will put him on the commissioner exempt list because he could still wind up there. People keep talking like he's not going to be on the commissioner exempt list. Anyway, if he's innocent, Watson is a top 10 QB, no question, says Ronnie. If he plays, bro, but he'll probably be suspended. The NFL will probably suspend him anyway. If everything cleared up today, I predict Roger Goodell would hand out a 6 to 8 game suspension. Why would a team trade for that? Why? Could I be wrong? Might the NFL say, you know what, we're just going to let this one go? He did some shady stuff, And if you don't know the details of the case, go read it before you start spouting off on it, because it is shady. It is very shady. So, Hurts, I still believe in. Are you taking a gamble that the Texans might give away Deshaun Watson for a ham sandwich to the Eagles, and maybe they even keep Hurts in the deal? Maybe. Like, that's why I don't bet my life on it. But I certainly believe that no sane team would trade for Deshaun Watson under these circumstances. And when I see news like this, I laugh. This reminds me of what? The Aaron Rodgers will retire news. Remember what I told you then. Pump the brakes. Ignore that. I report on it to shoot it down. Aaron Rodgers is going to retire. Absolutely BS. And I told you that from the beginning. It was the biggest joke of a news week that I've ever seen in my life. Aaron Rodgers is going to retire. Did he consider it maybe? Maybe in his head. Like, what person doesn't consider retiring every single day of their life at their job? You tell me, Noah, you walk into the paper factory and you literally don't say, oh, God, I want to retire. You know what I'm saying? Or Claudio. Claudio, I imagine Claudio being a bouncer at a big, nice, high-end club. You think Claudio doesn't walk in every day and go, I want to bounce out of here and retire early? We all think about retiring every second of the day. Who doesn't want to sit at a pool with a martini or a juice box and sit there and watch the fantasy football show? Just sitting there lounging around at the pool, at the cabana. Who doesn't think about that? So enough of the whole, but he did think about it for a second, Smitty. Like, who doesn't? He's 37 years old. Of course, every year he's going to contemplate, do I retire? Nah. Do I retire? Nah. Brady's been contemplating retirement for 5-6 years. That's nothing. That has nothing to do with it. Claudio says Haha, that is very true, unfortunately. Are you really a bouncer, Claudio? Let me predict Spacula. Spacula works in accounting. He's an accountant or a marketer. Some kind of marketing or accounting. Mike Ortiz. Mike Ortiz is a teacher. Or a police officer. Noah is in an old folks retirement home. That's where Noah works. And he volunteers to get half off. Shane, you're not immune to this. Shane, Lindsay, you are a corrections officer. All right. Back to it. Deshaun Watson. I could be wrong, but what I told you about everything so far this offseason has been pretty damn good. I've had a pretty good prediction. We do love Noah here. You can't have your own theme song on the show and not be loved. That's the Noah song. Trey Lance drafted, stash and redraft. No. Ethan, this is out of love.
Take a lap. Take a lap.
Ethan, everybody thinks about retirement every single second of every day, but I actually am retired in my mind. I love doing what I do, so this feels like retirement to me. So I am already retired. LB, you can't trick me. Now, off to Ethan. Ethan, let me go ahead and put something up for you, Ethan, because you deserve a pat on the back for bringing this topic up. I may have made you take a lap, young man, but don't take offense by it. That is not a bad thing. But let me go ahead and put something up for you. This is courtesy of my boy Dr. Raj, and let me put it up on screen. I gotta email it to myself now because I turned off my Wi-Fi and I can't. What a world we live in where it takes a couple seconds and we're like, now it takes a couple seconds to do something and it bothers me. Like, I can't do something instantly anymore. And so now it's going to take a few minutes for this to happen, or like 45 seconds, and I'm like totally bothered by it. Like, this is taking forever. I got to email it to myself. It's going to take now 3 more seconds to go to my email, open up my email, and drag this photo onto my screen here. So the question is, Trey Lance, draft and stash and redraft. It's a good question, and I only make you take a lap because he may not be somebody you even have to stash. This man looks phenomenal. So yes, the answer is yes. People are still thinking he's not starting week 1. So you're actually a genius. I made you take a lap, and you're really sitting here as a walking, breathing genius, Ethan. Okay? Why is my email not coming through? I'm trying to make a point here, and I can't even put it on. Good Lord. Trey Lance, there's reports out here. This is from there we go. Look at this report. He's gonna be great. He's gonna be so great. Have you ever seen a rookie this special? And Maddie M says no, not even close. No. And while I think it's reckless to throw around Patrick Mahomes references because, you know, Patty Mahomes is Patty Mahomes. I feel like every quarterback needs to stand on their, like, you want to say he's on that track. I'm okay with that. He's on the track of a Patrick Mahomes. Like, he looks so good for a rookie. He looks better than Mahomes looked as a rookie. He looks better than a lot of quarterbacks have looked as a rookie. On top of that, Trey Lance is inside the best offense he could be in. He will be handheld. His hand will be held the entire way, and he probably will let go of it and push it away because he won't need the hand holding. but it will be there for him to support him while he learns and goes through some ups and downs, which he probably will do. Most everybody does. This is on behalf of my boy RS49ers, so please go follow him if you haven't on Instagram. This is from his page. This right here, you're hearing more than one or two people talk like this. So to say stash him, Ethan, I'm merely joking with you. Yes, you are going to stash him. You're not drafting Trey Lance to be your starter yet, but you can be ballsy and put your balls on the line and say I'm going to draft a Burrow or a Jalen Hurts and then Trey Lance later, with the assumption that if in week 1 he's starting, I might put Trey right in. Trey is going to be electric. Trey Lance in 2 QB leagues is my favorite approach. I've drafted Trey Lance. I drafted Trey Lance in the Scott Fish Bowl. Now, this might seem high to a lot of you guys, but it was like the 6th round, top of the 6th round in the Scott Fish Bowl. But that scoring's crazy because you get points for first downs. It's quarterbacks are through the roof. Let's see right here. I donated to help the host. I'll look at I saw your message there, Kenny. I'll read it in a second. Mixon concerns over injury. We'll talk about Mixon in a second. But to finish off this topic right here, this man right here, his name is Trey Lancey Poo, and he's going to tear up the world. Light it on fire. Can't wait. Just can't wait. It's going to be so nice. What's the take on Sermon? Sermon is going to be at the mercy of how many carries they give him. Because Sermon's, I think, ceiling value is potentially 10. Top 10, per start. Top 8 to 10 per start. Maybe 7 to 10 per start. But will he get 4 games where he starts? Maybe. Will he get 10? He could. Probably on the line of like half of the year versus more than half of the year that he'll be getting like volume that you would consider potential starter volume. He's not going to be maybe starter in name. It'll be volume. It'll be a number. Will he get to 15 carries a game? If he's getting 15 carries a game, a couple receptions, and he's going to catch the ball. People think he's not a good pass catcher. He's a good pass catcher. But if he's getting like 15 carries a game, 14 carries a game, 3 or 4 receptions, he will ball out. And I think that at least half of the season, he's probably... I'll put it this way. I always try and emphasize that where I talk about Trey Sermon, I talk about Elijah Mitchell. Elijah Mitchell and Trey Sermon are one to me. I think if one goes down, it will be the other that gets an opportunity somehow. And I really, really, really like Elijah Mitchell a lot. So between the two of them, if you cuff them together and put them on your bench and wait, you might get, I believe, half of a year of starter volume, and it'll be clear who's getting it. It's not you're going to be like, oh, well, which one's going to get it? I believe it'll be very clear each time. So if Sermon starts, 6 of those games, and Mitchell starts 2 or 3, you'll know before the game, and together you're going to have a 6, 7, 8, amount of starts out of these two guys. Oh, man. What's up? What's up, Uncle Piff? Uncle Piff in the house, man. What's up, Uncle Piff? Appreciate you. Trey area. No worries, Kenny. Hypothetically, PPR draft, let's say you secure a running back in the first round. Hypothetically, are you going to lean toward taking Antonio Gibson or Calvin Ridley with the second round pick? Best player available, baby. And in that situation, Gibson and Ridley are very, very equal, and you could lean toward the position of need if you need it because they are equal. They are very, very close. They're both players that I would switch off, one in one league, one in the other. They're that close to me, and I'm all about best player available. And if you already had a running back, depending on your running back, depending on what you think you could do at wide receiver, can Jefferson fall in your league? Will you get CeeDee Lamb in round 3 in your league with your people? Is Grandma sleeping at the wheel? Is Uncle Bud or Uncle Piff in here scratching his belly going, is Melvin Gordon available? Then I am totally down with the running back Lamb approach if you love and do well with running back. But I have to ask you, broski, who you taking in round 1 as your running back? It better not be Barkley. It better not be JT. You better be talking Kamara, Cook, those guys. Otherwise, I'm going wide receiver, and then I'm going freaking Gibby in round 2. Big Dog says thumbs up, support the brand. Cowboys tonight. Yeah, and you guys, I want to ask you all to go over to smitty1.com. Click on this banner that pops immediately right up and go play DFS tonight. Go drop something fun from a fantasy football perspective on this game tonight. Okay? Let's watch this game. Let's play Underdog Fantasy with this game. Enter promo code SMITTY. All you got to do is deposit a 10 spot. And your man Smitty will call you up. It could be a free draft call. It could be a call where I just scream at you. Or we tell your mom it's baked in. Whatever you want. I will call you up. 15-minute phone call. All you got to do is drop a $10 minimum deposit. And you receive $25 in bonus cash from Underdog and a free phone call from me. Go to smitty1.com. The banner will pop right up. If you venture there without going through smitty1.com and clicking on the banner and using the link, which will pre-select Smitty as your promo code, make sure you put in Smitty as your promo code if you venture there without me. Okay? So go do that. Who's going to do that? Who's going to do that in the chat? Can somebody tell me they're going to do that in the chat? Who's going to go play DFS? Who's going to go play Underdog Fantasy tonight as things kick off? Because without this, man, it ain't going to be a game. You got to drop something on it. So smitty1.com. Click on this banner. $10 minimum deposit. Get some. Claudia, Smitty, how do you feel about this? We call Najee Harris to purposely look bad so that his ADP drops. I don't know that we're going to influence it enough to not just make my channel look bad. It's funny, Claudio. It would be hilarious in some respect. Also, I don't want to mislead anybody because they could be potential followers of mine. I get what you're saying, and I believe you're joking because you were just playing on that you love Harris and you're tired of his ADP climbing. So I get you. I'm not misinterpreting you. But yeah, I don't want to look like a fool for a couple shows and have that receipt because I love Najee. I got my phone call yesterday. Thanks again, Smitty. Attaboy, Mamba. Yeah, Mamba dropped a $10 deposit. Let me show the banner again. At Underdog Fantasy by entering promo code SMITTY. But you got to go to smitty1.com and click on this banner that pops right up. It takes you right there. It puts promo code SMITTY right in. $10. And I will call you, and you get to play DFS tonight, and you get $25 bonus cash. It's a win-win-win. Mamba will tell you, I dialed him up. We talked for a while. Good conversation, right, Mamba? Ethan says not available in your area. Okay, well then, Broski, you still got options. You still got Door League. You still got a bunch of ways. In fact, you do a Door League spot, Ethan, and I'll call you up for 15 minutes, okay? How's that? It's time for... You know what time it is.
It's time for fantasy football. Court.
Fantasy Football Court is in session. Your Honor, Smitty, presiding. Let's have at it. Toss the questions my way. Smitty, you're number one fantasy expert. You're the only one that I watch. Wonk! You're in contempt of amazingness right now. Which top tier QB? Claudio, this is an incomplete question. Contempt. Would you sit on the keyboard? John's thoughts on punting. Thoughts on punting running back 2 strategy and maximizing the other positions. John's, we went over this for about an hour already on the show. That's exactly what I've been talking about. I've shown you over here on the board, Johns. I've shown you on the boards, Johns. We've been talking about this for an hour. We've been talking about how I love Diggs in round 1. How I love DK in round 2, Johns. And then how I sometimes will go JK late. So that's my running back 1. Then Josh Allen in 4. And then I come in here and take Javonte Williams and Carter and platoon that running back 2. So punting it. Yes. Punting it. Punting it. Johns, punting it. We've been talking about it for a while. Johns, it doesn't mean I don't appreciate you. Johns, you know you're my boy, Blue. I'm just merely telling you, you have a lot of amazing content that you could go back and watch that will help address your problem here. I condemn you to a half hour of rewatching the Fantasy Football Show episode August 5th. Jay Wills isn't reliable, says Tight Nugget. Let me tell you something, Tight Nugget. Jay Wills may not seem reliable to you right now, but you wait about, 1 month, broski, and you're going to be saying Jay Wills for president, bro. You're going to be putting goat emojis in the chat constantly next to the name Jay Wills. You're going to be putting some respect on my man Jay Wills come week 5. Okay, maybe it will take a couple weeks. I've never guaranteed nothing to anybody about week 1. I've only told you we're hearing great things. And one reporter recently said, oh, Melvin Gordon's got a lock on the starting job. And now people are freaking out, which is exactly what we wanted. Jay Will, baby. I still appreciate you, Nugget. Keep it tight. Claudio, who has more upside, DK or Justin Jefferson? I'd probably say if I had to, Claudio, I'd paint it like this for you. I'd paint it like this for you. Let me put you over on the board here. Good Lord, I keep pressing the wrong buttons, man. I would probably put it like this, broski. If this is the wide receiver, top 7 wide receivers. Can't even see that. Wide receivers. I would say that Jefferson has this value. And DK has this value. Meaning they overlap here. They could be equal. You know what I'm saying? When they overlap, that means they could definitely be, one could be better than the other. Could DK potentially be better than Jefferson? Yeah, if Jefferson's at his worst from my prediction and DK's at his best from my prediction, I could see a world where DK did outscore him. But Jefferson's got such a high ceiling floor, such a high floor, because if you look at this, I'm putting Jefferson like in the 5 or 6 as a floor, but he has, or no, I'm sorry, 4 as a floor, but I have him as 1. So I take the chance that DK doesn't outperform him and he disappoints. So Jefferson, not by a mile, but Jefferson's my quiet dark horse number 1 wide receiver. Ortiz. Hey, Smitty. Can Tyrod Taylor be a viable QB this year in fantasy? If you guys wouldn't mind putting Hey, Smitty at the beginning of your question, that way I know it's not a chat response, I would appreciate it. In fact, I think I might only pull over questions that follow those directions in this courtroom. I want a Hey, Smitty before your question. Mike Ortiz following the protocol. Can Tyrod Taylor be a viable QB this year in fantasy? No. There's too many QB options. We're talking about Tom Brady. In a 2 QB league maybe, but we're talking about Tom Brady barely making the top 10 quarterbacks. We're talking about Stafford barely making the top 10 quarterbacks. The quarterback pool is deep. It doesn't mean I don't love Josh Allen or Kyler or any of my top guys over other guys, but it is a very deep QB pool. You're talking about Burrow potentially not making the top 8, 9, 10. So, no, you don't have any business starting Tyrod Taylor or worrying about him at all. Like backup, maybe a backup. Like I like him and Judy. I think he'll be good for Judy, but he's not even, I don't know. Or no, Bridgewater. I was thinking Bridgewater. Tyrod Taylor, Houston. I'm thinking Bridgewater. I always mix those two up. Bridgewater. Tyrod Taylor, no, even worse. I like Bridgewater more than I like Tyrod Taylor. There's no way I'm banking on Tyrod Taylor. Why do I always do that with Tyrod Taylor? What's even the latest news on Tyrod Taylor? And everyone's talking about a trade happening. Well, what happens if Houston trades for Jalen Hurts? You think Tyrod Taylor's got any value? Tyrod Taylor. Let me pull Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor. Houston Texans. So forgettable. Yeah, bro. I'm not looking at that. I'd rather have Bridgewater. I'd rather have the guy I mix up Tyrod Taylor with. Bridgewater. All right. I'll take a lap on that one. You got me. On this one. Mike Ortiz 1, Smitty 0. Take a lap, Smitty. I make mistakes too. I'm a human being. Whoops. All right. Hey, Smitty. My poopy stinky. Well, bro, I've got news for you. You know what cures a stinky poopy? A deposit over at Underdog Fantasy. Go to Underdog Fantasy by going to smitty1.com. This banner will pop up. Make a $10 deposit minimum. I will call you up and we'll talk about your stinky poopy. Okay? I'll help take care of that. We'll help nip that in the bud, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Smitty. Diggs in round 1. Ridley in round 2. Lamb in round 3. What do you think? Diggs, yes. Ridley, yes. Lamb, yes. Wide receiver. I'm okay with it because guess what? Those rookie running backs are there for the taking. Javonte Williams, Michael Carter, Trey Sermon. Get them all together in a platoon. Get a Mike Davis. I'm okay with this. And I don't even force running back at that pick 4. Maybe it's Monty if he falls, but I don't force it at that pick 4. I'll take freaking Josh Allen, add it to those 3 wide receivers, and then roll in with that platoon running back crew. So I'm okay with that. Smitty, what wide receiver would you trade me for Mixon? The highest. What wide receiver would I trade you for Mixon? I don't want Mixon, but I suppose if I was trying to grab Mixon from you and I had an issue at running back, I'd maybe throw a Woods, maybe an Amari Cooper, maybe a Cooper Kupp, maybe a Cooper Cuppy Poo. Maybe I'd throw an Adam Thielen your way, a Deontay Johnson, and then maybe we can go further from there. But I'm not giving you, if you're trying to get me to say a big name, you're not getting a CeeDee Lamb. You're not getting a Terry McLaurin. You're not getting you might not even get a Mike Evans from me. Mike Evans and Mixon feel about even. like in my book. That's how down I am on Mixon. And he's already banged. Didn't he already injure his ankle? I mean, good lord. Good lord. Hey, Smitty, Trey over Patty Mahomes. I'm not going to tell you to take a lap on that one, but I'm just going to say let's hope that he's that good. Imagine fantasy football getting another Patty Mahomes. Order. Thank you for the super chat. Dynasty Superflex, Christian McCaffrey and Josh Allen, or Lawrence Gibson and JK. Give me Josh Allen and Christian McCaffrey, my broski. Well, hold on. Dynasty. That's tough. Yeah, I'm going to say McCaffrey and Allen. I'm going to say win now. Win now. Win now, bro. It's tough. I mean, I wouldn't blame you going either direction. Woods, Thielen for Mixon. Come on, bro. Woods, Thielen for Mixon. That's how I feel about Mixon, bro. You asked me. You didn't ask me. Someone asked me, and that's my answer. Because, honestly, I wouldn't give up. Let's go through the wide receivers then. I wouldn't give up Diggs, obviously. Hopkins, come on. Ridley, Metcalf. I'm going down ADP right now. Jefferson, A.J. Brown, Keenan Allen, McLaurin, CeeDee Lamb, Allen Robinson. Would you give up any of those players for Joe Mixon? Terry McLaurin, CeeDee Lamb, maybe Allen Robinson, maybe. But at that point, that's where you're going to find Mike Evans, Robert Woods, Amari Cooper, Cooper Kupp, Adam Thielen. I'm going down the ADP list. So if you are telling me that DK Metcalf, Jefferson, A.J. Brown, Keenan Allen, and McLaurin and Lamb are ahead of Mixon for you, then that's fine. But I'm literally naming the wide receivers that come right after those guys. So how am I that off base, Claudio? How am I not off base? How am I off base liking CeeDee Lamb, McLaurin, Keenan Allen, or A.J. Brown ahead of Mixon? That's all I said. I said it in a different way, but that's all I said. Everybody below those guys, I would potentially trade for Mixon if I needed a running back. That's going to be Evans, borderline, Julio, Amari Cooper, Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods. Those are the next guys. So, I mean, put me in my place, Claudio. I'm fine, but put me in my place. I'm curious. Mark Cleveland with a super chat. Singletary, Damian Harris for... Oh, and. I think you mean and. Singletary and Damian Harris for Gabriel Davis. No. Keep Singletary and Damian Harris, bro. I like Gabe Davis, but he's like a prospect. You know, at least Damian Harris, even if I don't believe he'll keep the job, like, people are overpaying for Damian Harris. And Singletary, you know, I almost like better than Gabe Davis because he could, you know, Zach Moss has trouble staying healthy. I don't know. I definitely would rather have the two running backs, to be honest. But I'd probably try and trade both of them. I don't love any of those players at all. I love Gabe Davis, the upside, but not at that cost. I like him as like a, you know, deep grab. Hey, Smitty, who's going to be the top running back in Tampa? Your guess is probably better than my guess because it's not going to be logical. And you know, none of us, I think the person that pulls it out of a hat, like puts two names in a hat and pulls it out, is going to have a better shot than either one of us predicting who's going to be the top guy there. If I had to pick one, I would probably say Fournette. Rojo, if you want to be safe, but then I don't know. I want to stay clear of that situation entirely. Cameron didn't say, hey, Smitty, but we'll still put his question up. Zeke first, then round 2, Hopkins or Najee third, Waller or Carson half PPR. Zeke first, round 2, Hopkins or Najee, third round Waller or Carson. I don't go Carson. I like Carson, but not in round 3, man. There's too many better options. Waller, I'm fine with. Lamb, I'm fine with. Carson's okay. I don't hate it. If you want to go Carson in round 3, I'm not going to Smitty approve it. I'm not going to make you take a lap, but I feel like he's got potential, but for whatever reason, you could call a lot of it gut instinct. I just don't trust him. I don't trust him. Claudio says, look at those wide receivers, but personally, I would trade McLaurin and A. Brown for Mixon. Okay, but that's a different stance than, come on, Smitty. I mean, I feel like I defended myself pretty good, Claudio. I basically said everybody down to Keenan Allen, A.J. Brown, McLaurin, CeeDee Lamb on ADP. After those guys, I would potentially trade those wide receivers. But that's like 30. That's like 35 overall. That's way lower than people want to hear. Mixon, you know, me ranking Mixon. That's why I rank Mixon. You know, I feel like I'm justified in saying Lamb over Mixon. I'm justified in it. A.J. Brown over Mixon. McLaurin over Mixon. I think it's justifiable. It's not like I'm saying, so I'd give up every receiver below that. Cooper Kupp, Woods, Thielen, Julio. I would. I think that's a pretty reasonable reaction. And I still appreciate you, Claudio. You don't have to, I'm not going at you whatsoever. I'm just merely defending the come on man with the best defense I could give myself in my own courtroom. Smitty, are we doing the shirt show Sunday? Yes, on Sunday I will be making Paco. Are you here? Oh, you Kurt, are you here? I'll be making Paco's and Terry Roberts' shirt live on Sunday on some live stream. We'll be making their shirt live, and anybody that purchases another shirt, I'll try and make that live on the show as well. So get ready, Terry. Get ready for your shirt, big boy. Get ready. Terry's the man. Terry's the GOAT. He'll punch you in the throat. Who is good at Who's a good target at 3.1? JK, CeeDee Lamb are great targets at that area. Jefferson, JK, CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown. Those guys are falling. Like AJ Brown's fallen. Sometimes DK and Ridley will fall because people are crowding up that running back stable. Hey, Smitty. Todd says, hey, Smitty, check with Underdog. I used your link to drop 10 and no spot for promo code. Okay, well, if you use the link on Smitty1, you should be good, bro. It should have entered promo code for you via that link, so you're good. So, Todd, if you drop your number in an Instagram DM, I will call you right now on the show, if you prefer that. We'll call you up right now. We'll show people how this works. You go to Smitty1.com. Did you go through Smitty1.com, though, Todd? Did you follow the instructions? I used your link. Okay, so you did. Then you should be fine. If you go to Smitty1.com and drop a $10 deposit, minimum $10, $25 bonus cash, and I'll call you. I'll even call you right now. So, Todd, DM me your number. I will check Instagram. You don't have to come on now. Maybe you're working, Todd. And Todd, let me guess where you work. Todd works at... Todd. He's got boxing gloves in his avatar. He's a goat. He's punching a goat, or the goat's fighting me. Todd works at a gym. Todd's a gym manager. Todd is a gym manager. And he's working right now, he says. Are you a gym manager? Do you manage a gym? That's what I'm feeling, Todd. Okay, Todd, DM me, bro. Matt says, I just wrapped up a rookie free agent draft in Dynasty. Got Najee, Chase, Marshall, Madison, and Pat. Attaboy. Attaboy. You know who I really like right now is Elijah Moore. I think he's going to be fire. Just absolute fire. Data scientist for a bank. Same thing. Same thing, Todd. Banking. Managing a gym. I got a third. No, that's cool. Data scientist. Attaboy. I got third spot. I was thinking Henry, but you like AK. I do like AK. Henry, I just trade him by mid-season, bro. I just trade him by mid-season. I just trade him by double-digit weeks or something because I just feel like drop-off is inevitable. Look, he doesn't get PPR work, so if this is a non-PPR or a half PPR, I guess there's more of a argument here, but he doesn't get PPR work. And he rushed for 2,000 yards last year, which breaks down most running backs. Yeah, he's different. He's built different. He's going to be special, blah, blah, blah. But you also have 1,000 carries that he's going to cross over in less than a 3-year period, and that's just that 3-year period of time. He's got more carries, I believe, than anybody in college football history, or the 5th highest carry season ever in college football, I believe. And then he got boatloads of carries in high school, and like his mileage is long. You know, his mileage is deep. And this guy's a big boy, hitting the ground over and over, getting hit at the legs over and over. Like, this is just, there's a lot. It smells like disaster waiting to happen. Henry at 3 smells like disaster. You could draft him there. He's going to ball out. I'm telling everybody, every time I say don't draft Henry, I make it very, 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 very clear that I think he'll ball out in week 1. He'll ball out in week 2. He'll look very good early on. I don't want to hear, Smitty, you were wrong about Henry. He looks fantastic in week 1. Like, I'm telling you, draft him and trade him. He's going to look great. He's going to look fantastic. There's no drop-off. We have not seen Henry drop off, but I can't envision adding a game and this man playing a full season without getting hurt, without missing a significant amount of time that's going to make it really hard to win your league at 3rd overall drafted value. That's my concern with Henry. Not that he won't ball out in week 1 or week 2. I like Henry in week 1, week 2. I like Henry early on, but AK has 81, 81, 81, and 83 receptions in his 4 seasons in the NFL. The man does not miss. And I just feel like he's safer. You can cuff him to Lat Murray. Okay. Claudio. I don't understand why people draft Henry top 3 in PPR. He didn't even finish top 3 with 2,000 yards rushing. Do people expect him to do better? Not to mention the injury of CMC and other running back ones. So, I mean, that's to further emphasize my point. Last year we had like 2 or 3 1,100 yard rushers. We had a very, very small amount of like 1,000 yard rushers last year. It was crazy. Let me see if I can pull that up. NFL.com statistics, running backs, rushing. I mean, this is pretty crazy. This data is pretty crazy. I think I'm going to shock some people. I bet a lot of people don't know this. You ready for this? Look at this data. Look how many rushing yards he had last year. He was so abused. Look at all the 1,000-yard rushers. Take Lamar Jackson out. You've got Josh Jacobs at 1065. Nick Chubb at 1067. Monty at 1070. James Robinson 1070. You had 4 1,100-plus yard rushers. Aaron Jones, Jonathan Taylor, Dalvin Cook, and Derrick Henry. That is a bad rushing season. You know? I mean, Derrick Henry still would have balled out. Like, it didn't matter if other people. I'm just saying, I just wanted to point out that it was shocking to look at this and be like, wow, there were not a lot of 1,000-yard rushers, let alone 1,100-yard rushers. Like, that's pretty crazy. Terry says, I wish I could join Underdog. You can in your state. That sucks. Interesting things to note here. Like, look how high Taylor is. Taylor had a bad start. So this is a good talking point on Taylor. So I've told you stay away from Taylor, right? What point do I like him? We talked about that. 18, 19 overall, whatever. I could see Taylor starting off really, really bad. No Wentz, stacked boxes, no goal line opportunities or not enough. And then boom, mid-season, he gets used a lot. He finds room to run. He does well. I wouldn't be shocked if Taylor did really well at the end of the year. I wouldn't be shocked if Taylor played like this level for the second half of the year or close to double-digit weeks on out. Taylor feels a lot like that kind of running back that it's going to be disappointment like Mixon. 2019, what did Mixon do? Absolutely nothing for half of a year. Completely lost many people their champion or their seasons. Then what did Mixon do? Tore it up for half of his season. I feel like Jonathan Taylor's gonna have that kind of year. He's gonna have a really bad start. You could buy him low, buy him in week 8, buy him in week 7, really low because his owners are just completely disappointed. I drafted him at 14. What was I thinking? And he's gonna he's gonna bomb. he might have good games and bad games, but he's not going to be efficient. He's not going to be near the goal line. So I would trade for him, though he'll be a very good trade for candidate. Very good trade for candidate. Smitty, who is the top ranked tight end analyst according to Fantasy Pros? That would be me. I was number 1, Alex, in 2020 in tight end rankings. In 2018, I was also number 1. That's pretty hard to do 2 out of the 3 years. So overall, naturally, I'm the top tight end ranker on Fantasy Pros over the last 3 years if you average them all together. Don't ask me about my running backs last year. That is the reason why I finished 19th overall out of hundreds of analysts, but 19 was still good. 19 still high for hundreds and hundreds of analysts. But yeah, I had Clydie Boy and Drake up there, and those kind of soured my overall ranking score. But, you know, we still predicted some massive breakouts. Yo, Smitty. Just finished my redraft league. Attaboy. Attaboy. Attaboy, sports dude. Oh, I'm tired today. Couple more questions, then I'm going to end Fantasy Football Court. Did only 4 running backs have 11? That's what I'm showing here, broski. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at that. James Robinson was the next guy, number 5. Him and Monty tied for 5th, 1070. Crazy year for running backs. I mean, that's a low. Those are low numbers. AJ Brown keeps slipping. I love it. Looks better and better in training camp. AJ Brown is such a beast, man. He is falling. He's falling right around that, like 3.1. I just traded Mixon for McLaurin. Look at that. Legion likes it. There you go, Jenkins. Your Honor, the cosigner wouldn't pay. I don't know what that is. I don't know what you mean, broski. Hey, Smitty, following directions. Hey, Smitty, I did a mock 12-team. Alexa, show me the front door. I did a mock 12-team. Whoa.
It's time to help.
Whoa.
Customize.
What is going on here? I got something going on here. Hold on. Sorry, my system's acting weird. Who's at the front door? I did a 12-team standard mock. By the 4th, Gaskin was the best running back available. How many do we need by the 4th to feel not gimped at the position? I mean, it sounds like it depends on your league, bro. If you anticipate that running backs are going to fly off the board, then you may want to look at your approach a little differently. You kind of got to know your own league. I could tell you what I think could happen, but the mock draft or your league could be completely different than what I'm saying. So I could blow smoke up your rear end and say, go, you will see this running back fall to you. But I would take Javonte Williams, Michael Carter, Trey Sermon, Mike Davis. Those are all after round 4. Those are all like 5th round and beyond. I would take those guys if I was going wide receiver, and Josh Allen in round 4. Like I literally would go Diggs, Ridley, CeeDee Lamb, Josh Allen, and then take Javonte Williams, ETN, Javonte Williams, ETN, Carter. Like, give me Javonte Williams and ETN and Carter all day as my top 3 running backs. I would take that into battle. I would take all 3 of those running backs, ETN, Javonte Williams, and Michael Carter. All 3 rookie running backs. I would take that into war if you could give me Diggs, Metcalf, and CeeDee Lamb. Or in some cases, let's say, Jefferson fell. You could have Jefferson, AJ Brown, and Diggs or something like that. I would do that. I would be fine with that. Smitty80 says, Smitty, how much would your QB ADP change in 6 point per TD passing touchdown league? I would say top of round 3, I'm taking Josh Allen in that format. I'm taking him in the 3rd round. I'll take him anywhere in the 3rd round. I probably don't move anybody into round 2, only because Josh Allen falls, only because Kyler's going to fall, only because Herbert's still going to fall. And I like Herbert a lot in that format. I think Herbie could have 40 passing touchdowns. I really do. I think Herbie's going to be that good. But I would take Josh Allen in round 3, top of round 3, anywhere in round 3. Parker with a super chat. Broski. What order would you take? What order would you take Eckler, Jones, Harris, and Clyde? And then, do you like Zeke and one more of those running backs, or Adams, and one more of them to start the draft? Sorry, I'm really getting tired. I'm slowing down. I'm just gonna take a little nap. What order would you take Eckler, Jones, Harris, and Clyde? I would rank them Harris, maybe Jones, Harris, Clyde, Eckler. I know Eckler's low for me with that group. It's not that I don't like Eckler. I just love those players. I love Clyde more than Eckler. I just do. I like Harris more than Eckler. I like Jones probably more than Eckler. So I'd say like Jones, Harris, or Harris, Jones, Clyde, Eckler. And then do you like Zeke and one of those running backs or Adams? I like Zeke. If Zeke's available, I'm taking Zeke over a wide receiver. Zeke's in my top 4 or 5. Cuff him to Pollard. Make sure you do that. But then I maybe look at going DK or Jefferson instead of one of those running backs. But I wouldn't be opposed to going running back, and then making sure you get CeeDee Lamb. So, Zeke and Clyde would be fire. Zeke and Harris would probably be amazing. And Zeke and DK would be amazing. Like, you're going to be fine any way you turn. But I would take Zeke. Smitty Door League, August 1. Our Door League 1, August 15. Door League 2, 30th or September 1 still. Yeah, probably around those dates, bro. And I should have the tickers on the next live that will show who's in it. And you can tell me if anything's looking funny to you. Like, hey, I'm in the Door League. Check your record, Smitty. Zeke Harris is flames. It is. It's arson, bro. I think side B wins. I don't. There wasn't a Hey Smitty. That's my fault. That's my fault. All right, one last question for Hey Smitty, and then we're going to wrap up the show with a little conclusion episode, little conclusion segment. Last question. Last question. No Zoom during the game, Ryan. We'll try and do a Zoom Friday, like I mentioned. Take Kareem Hunt later instead of Gaskin. Ryan, I'll see if I can do a Zoom. I'll look into it, but I don't hang around for it. But I'll let you know. Kareem Hunt later instead of Gaskin. I'm okay with that approach. And the final question. Final 2 questions are. Avi says, "Peace. Can't believe football is kind of back. Not really. Haha. Yeah, it'll be a kind of a letdown of a game. We're gonna be excited. We're gonna barely see anything happen. What's for dinner? I don't know. I'm hungry though. Hill Diggs destroying 2021. That could be completely true, my friend. Look at my previous question. These are always funny because it's like I have you right here. Like, I have you right here. Look above for my previous question, but you're right here. Oh, here we go. Side A, ETN plus Godwin. Side B, Javonte plus Ayuk plus Claypool and redraft. ETN Godwin. I don't. That's like a mix of like pros and cons. ETN. I like a lot. Godwin, I like a lot. Javonte, I like more than all of them, but he's not getting the work right away, maybe. Ayuk, I like a lot. I mean, it's very even. Claypool is very even. I don't know that I could say a side wins. Those are very, very even sides. I could blow smoke, but I'm not about blowing smoke up anyone's rear end today. So I'm going to say even Steven. Bruce. Hey, Bruce, you want to say hi to your mom?
It didn't record.
That's Bruce. Bruce's mother is a legend on the show, Bruce. Okay. Hey, Smitty. Where do you rank Hopkins-Murray combination? Hey, Smitty, where do you rank the Hopkins-Murray combination? Okay, same question. I mean, I like them. I think they're not the top stack. I'd rather have A-Rod and Adams potentially. I definitely would rather have Diggs and Josh Allen, and I'd like to have Hill and Mahomes. I think Hill and Mahomes are the second best stack. I think Josh Allen and Diggs are the first best stack. I think A-Rod and Adams could be. You could argue Murray and Hopkins and A-Rod and Adams are fighting for that third and fourth stack spot, most likely. That is going to do it for the show today. Ayuk is a steal, says Legion. Claudio's laughing. Bruce, that's my favorite stack. Who wins? A gets Jerry Jeudy and Boyd, and B gets Devontae Smith and Sutton. Colin neglects to tell us if it's redraft or dynasty. So we're going to answer both. Colin. And court is over, so I'll put that mallet away. Jeudy and Boyd, Devontae and Sutton. If it's dynasty, the Devontae side because I love Devontae Smith. If it's redraft, I probably still say Devontae and Sutton. I don't know. I guess no. I probably lean Jeudy and Boyd for right now, but I mean Devontae Smith, I love so much, bro. I don't know. I hope he's fire right away. Legion, appreciate you. Cheesesteaks over filet? Absolutely not. That's blasphemy. I'm opening court back up just so no cheesesteaks over filet. Door League is coming. Spacula, thank you. Who wins? I did that. Thank you, broski. Najee to the moon, says Kenny. Filet is by far superior, says Claudio. Claudio is correct. Claudio, we didn't agree on one thing today, but this one we do, broski. Filet, baby. Filet. Costco used to have those bacon wrap fillets. They were like a 6-pack or whatever, and they were like heat sealed, and they were a little fillet and bacon wrapped around it. And they did with that. They did away with them. I'm looking for them every time I go down the aisle in Costco. I'm just looking for the filet wrapped bacon circle steaks, man. Love those. I love Costco. In fact, I might eat those filled feta chicken bacon wrap chicken breasts that I've got in the freezer. Freaking good. I love Costco. What round do you target James Robinson? Seems to be good value, like 6-7 round range, and I'm never happy about it. I never hate it, but I'm never happy about it. I'm out of here. Please subscribe if you're new and comment below. And tonight, you guys better be playing Underdog Fantasy by going to smitty1.com. Go to smitty1.com. This banner will pop up just like this. Click it. Minimum deposit of $10. Free phone call from me. Todd, DM me about it. Say, hey, Smitty, where's my phone call? So I remember, because I'll probably forget. And then I'll call you up. And if anybody else wants a free phone call and 25 bonus cash from Underdog, new account. If you have a new account, deposit $10. You find the link by going to smitty1.com. This pops up. If you venture there without going to the link, darn you. But all you got to do is enter Smitty as your promo code. You should be fine. Get your phone call. Play DFS tonight. Don't watch the game tonight without dropping something on it. Like, you got to be kidding me. Go to Underdog Fantasy. Do it now. Everybody, I appreciate you. I appreciate you.